On Monday morning, 20th of November 2024, a Swift Air Boeing 737-400 crashed in Vilinius, the capital of Lithuania. First knowledge is now on the Republic domain, and today it's about what happened. More after intro. On Monday, the 25th November of 2024, at 5 a.m. in the morning, a Boeing 737-400 cargo airplane of Swift Air DHL crashed in Vilinius shortly before the runway and the final landing approach into a small residential area. The plane took off around 3 o'clock at night in Leipzig and then had for Vilnius in 1 hour and 20 minutes. When the pilots leave the cruising flight, everything went according to plan. And when the plane flies a turn before the final landing approach to head for the runway, everything looks great. The tower gave the pilots the clearance to land, but the pilots don't answer. Then, at the distance of 1.5 miles, the plane crashed into a residential building. Of the 4-person crew, only 3 survived. But what was happening here now? Let's go back a few minutes. The plane is in the final approach to Vilnius airport, runway 19, and the pilots report normally to the ATC approaching frequency and are then handed over from the approaching frequency to the tower frequency. The tower reports to the plane and gave the pilots the clearance for landing, but they don't answer anymore because they were probably fighting for controls of the plane, I think. The Boeing 737 crashed just a few seconds later. On the monitoring recording, you can see very well that the plane came into a reticent position shortly before the crash, and then crashed with its wing through a building and then crashed completely. The assumption that there was a sabotage or robbery is as good as from the table. Since you have already talked to the survivors and also on the so-called black boxes, there was nothing to hear that could seem strange. So kidnapping or sabotage is already as not. But what then? Another assumption is that the pilots timed emergency landing, but that could also be ruled out, since the radio message between tower and pilot hear nothing inconspicuous such as "Mayday, Mayday, we have a problem and have to make an emergency landing." The police had already spoken to one of the survivors and he said that there was no fire on board. He reports that there was neither smoking heard nor that smelled a bit strange. DHL also says that there was nothing on board that could just start burning. The crash Boeing 737-400 with the registration Echo Charlie Mike Foxtrot Echo dates from 1993 and first flew for Qantas in Australia before it was converted into a cargo plane and delivered to Swift Air. The start in Leipzig went without any problems and the plane did not roll over anything because the gear did not look like they had rolled over any object during the takeoff. Even after takeoff, everything looked the same as always. They climbed normally to 33,000 feet and maintained the altitude during the whole flight. The speed did not change abnormally, and also the landing approach looked normal from the descent rate and from the speed. But shortly before the accident, they suddenly sank at more than 1,155 feet a minute and lose a lot of altitude. A few seconds later it crashed, so the exact causes is not yet clear, but the kidnapping is already ruled out. And as I said, one burns too. I hope you were able to learn something about the incident, and I would be very happy about a like and a subscription. Then I wish you a nice day and we will see you again in the next video. See you then at Leo. Have a nice day.